Namaste, tonight I'm going to read Book 11, Chapter 23, on the Tapta, Krichtra, Vrata, and others in the Maha Devi Bhagavatam. Hari Om Tat Sat. Narayana said, the best sadhaka, then uttering after his meals the mantra, Amrita Pi Dhana Masi, O water nectar, let thou be the covering to the food that I have taken, should make Achman sip one Gandusa water and distribute the remnant food, the leavings, to those who take the leavings. Let the servants and maidservants of our family that expect the leavings of food be satisfied with what leavings I give to them. Let those inhabitants of the Raurava hell or other unholy places who have remained there for a Padma or Arbhuta years and want to drink water be satisfied with this water that I offer to them, and let this water bring unending happiness to them. Repeating the above two mantras, let the householder distribute the leavings of food to the servants and the water to those who want water respectively. Then opening the knot of the pavitra, a ring of kusa grass worn on the fourth finger on certain religious occasions, let him throw this on the square mandalam on the ground. The Brahmana that throws this kusagrasa on the vessel, patra, is said to defile the vow of Brahmanas taking their food. The Brahmana that has not yet washed his face after taking the food, or touching another such Brahmana, or a dog, or a Sudra, should fast one day and then drink Panchagabhya, and thus purify himself. And in case the Uchista Brahmin who has not washed his mouth and hands after meals be touched by another Brahmin who is not Uchesta, then simply bathing will purify him. By offering this Ekahuti, oblation once, according to rules mentioned above, one obtains the fruit of performing 10 million sacrifices, and by offering the oblation 5 times, one gets the endless fruit of performing 50 million sacrifices. And if one feeds such a man who knows well how to do this pranagni homa, then he as well as he whom he feeds both derive full benefits, and they ultimately go to heaven. The Brahmana acquires, while taking each of his mouthful of food, the fruit of eating Panchagavya. He who takes his food duly with the holy Pavitra kusa grass tied on his finger during the 3 times of worship, the devotee is to do his daily japam, tarpanam, and homa, and he should feed the Brahmins. Thus the 5-limbed Purascharana is completely done. The religious man should sleep on a low bedding, lie on the ground. He is to control his senses and anger. He is to eat moderately the things that are light, sweet, and good. He is to be humble, peaceful, and calm. He is to bathe thrice daily and not to hold any unholy conversation with any woman, a Sudra, one who is fallen without any initiation, and who is an atheist. As well, he should not speak in a language spoken by the Chandalas. One is to bow down before him who is in the act of performing the japam, homa, and worship, etc. One is not to talk with him, never by deed, mind, or word. On all occasions, never speak about sexual intercourses, nor hold any contact with such people. For the relinquishment of this subject is called brahmacharyam, continence of the kings as well as of the householders. But one should go to one's legal wife during the night time after her menstruation duly according to the rules of the Sastras. The brahmacharyam is not thereby destroyed. Man cannot repay the threefold debts, and he cannot aspire for moksha without procreating sons or without doing the duties of the householders as prescribed by the Sastras. An attempt to do so becomes entirely fruitless, like the breast on the neck of a goat. Rather, it drags one downward, so the Shrutis say. So let yourself be free first from the depths due to the depths due to the devas, the depths due to the rishis, and the depths due to the pitris. Make sacrifices first, and then be free from the devas' debt. Whole brahmacharyam, and be free from the rishis' debt. Offer till and water, that is, do shraddhas and tarpanams, and be free from the debt due to the pitris. Then do readily practice your own varnasrama dharma. One is to practice krichra chandra yana vrata, and to take for his food milk, fruits, roots, and vegetables. Habis yanam, and food obtained by begging, so that one may become sinless. One is to make japam for Purash Charanam. One is to avoid salt, salty or alkaline substances, acid, garlic, turnips, eating in kamsa vessels, chewing betals, eating twice, putting on impure clothing and intoxicating things, and the ansastric nocturnal japam. Also, one is not to waste one's time over blaming and trying to find faults with the relatives, playing at dice, or talking at random with one's wife, so that evil effects may arise. One is to spend one's time in worshipping the devas, reciting the hymns and praise, and studying the sastras. One is to sleep on the ground, practice brahmacharyam and the vow of silence, bathe thrice, not practice anything which befits the Sudras only. One is to worship every day, make charities duly, and be always happy. Recite stotras daily, do occasional deva worships, have faith in one's guru and deva. These 12 rules are to ensure success to the devotee who does Purash Charanam. One is to daily praise the sun with one's face turned towards him, do japam before him, or one is to worship one's own deity in front of fire or the image of any god, and do japam simultaneously. The devotee who practices Purush Charanam is to bathe, worship, do japam, meditate, practice homa, tarpanam, is to have no desires and to surrender all fruits to one's own desired deity, etc. These are necessarily to be observed by him. Therefore, while doing japam, homa, etc., the devotee's mind is to remain always pleasant and satisfied. One should be ready to practice tapasya, to see the sastras and be merciful to all the beings. And asceticism leads one to the heaven and to the attainment of one's desires. Therefore, know this, that all the powers come to an ascetic. An ascetic can cause another's death, maran. He can injure others, cure diseases, and kill all. Whatever the several rishis wanted from the Devi Gayatri, and to that end made Purush Charanam and worshipped her. They obtained from her all those things. O Narada, I will speak of Shanti karmas, etc. in a future chapter. Here I will speak of those rules, etc. that are to be observed in Purush Charanam, in as many as they play the principal part to success. First of all, shave yourself and have your hairs and nails, etc. cut off, and bathe and be pure. Then perform the Prajapatya Prayaschita for one's peace and purification, and next do the Purush Charanam of the Gayatri. Do not speak the whole day and night. Keep your thoughts pure If words are to be spoken, speak only what you take as true. First recite Mahav Yarhiti, and then the Savitri mantra with Pranava prefixed. Then recite the sin-destroying mantra, Apohista, etc., the Swasti Mati Sukta and Pavamani Sukta. In every action, in its beginning and at its end, one is to understand the necessity of doing the japam, why and what for one is doing that. One is to repeat the pranava, the three vyarhitis and savitri ayuta times, or 1,000 times, or 100 times, or 10 times, and offer with water the peace offerings tarpanam to the Acharya, Rishi, Chandas, and the Devas. Being engaged in action, do not speak any impure language of the mlechas or talk with any Sudra or any bad person. Do not talk with wife in the period of ministration, with one who has fallen, with the low-class person, with any hater of the Devas and the Brahmanas, Acharyas and Gurus, with those who blame the fathers and mothers, now show any disrespect to anybody. Now, thus I have spoken in due order about all the rules of Krichchara Vrata. Now I will speak of the rules of the Prajapatya, Krichchara, Santapana, Paraka, Krichchara, and Chandrayana. One becomes freed of all the sins if one performs the above 5 Chandrayanas. By the performance of the Tapta Krichchara, all sins are burnt off in an instant. By the performance of the 3 Chandrayanas, the people get purified and go to the Brahmaloka. By doing 8 Chandrayanas, one sees face to face one's Devata ready to grant boons. With 10 Chandrayanas, one gets the knowledge of the Vedas and one acquires all what he wants. If the observance of the Krichchara Prajapatya Vrata, one has to take food once in midday for 3 days, once in the evening for 3 days, and for the next 2 days, whatever one gets without asking anything from anybody. For the next 3 days, one is not to take anything at all and go on with one's work. These 12 days' work constitutes the Prajapatya Vrata. Now about the rules of the Shantapana Vrata. On the preceding day, one has got to eat food consisting of the mixture of cow urine, cow dung milk, curd, ghee, and the water of the kusa grass. The day following, he is to fast. These 2 days' work constitutes the Santapana Vrata. Now about the Ati Krichchara Vrata. For the first 3 days, one is to eat 1 mouthful of food a day, and for the next 3 days, one is to fast. This is the Ati Krichchana Vrata. The Vrata repeated 3 times is called Maha Santapana Vrata. Note, according to the opinion of Yama, the 15 days' work constitutes Maha Santapana. For the 3 days, one has to eat cow urine. For the next 3 days, cow dung. For the next 3 days, curd. For the next 3 days, milk. And for the next 3 days, one has to take ghee. Then one becomes pure. This is called the all sin destroying Maha Santapan Vrata. Now I am speaking of the nature of the Tapta Krichchara Vrata. The Tapta Krichchara Vrata is carried out for the 12 days. For the first 3 days, one has to drink hot water. For the next 3 days, hot milk. For the next 3 days, the hot ghee. And for the next 3 days, air only. Every day, one has to bathe once only under the above rules and remain self-controlled. If one drinks water simply every day under the above conditions, that is called the Prajapatya Vrata. To remain without any food for 12 days according to rules is called the Paraka Krichchara Vrata. By this Vrata, all sins are destroyed. Now, above the rules of taking food in the Chandrayana Vrata, in the dark fortnight, one will have to decrease one mouthful of food every day, and in the bright fortnight, one will have to increase one mouthful every day, and one has to fast completely on the Amavasya, new moon day. One has to take bath thrice daily during every Sandhya time. This is known as the Chandrayana Vrata. In this Sisu Chandrayana Vrata, one will have to take 4 mouthfuls of food in the midday and 4 mouthfuls in the evening. In the Yati Chandrayana, one has to take 8 mouthfuls in the midday and to control his passions. These above mentioned vratas are observed by the Rudras, Adityas, Vasus and Maruts, and they are enjoying thereby their full safety. Each of the above vratas purifies the 7 dhatus of the body in 7 nights simply. First skin, then blood, then flesh, bones, sinews, marrows, and semen are purified. There is no doubt in this. Thus, purifying the Atman by the above vratas, one is to do religious actions. The work done by such a purified man is sure to be met with success. First, control the senses, be pure and do good actions, then all your desires will be undoubtedly fructified. Fast for 3 nights without doing any actions and see the results. You will not do anything and you want self-control. Is this a child's play? Perform for 3 days the nocturnal vratas. Then proceed with your desired duties. If one works according to these methods, one gets the fruits of Purashcharanam. O Narada, by the Purashcharanam of Sri Gayatri Devi, all desires are fulfilled and all sins are destroyed. Before doing Purashcharanam, purify your body by performing the above vratas. Then you will get all your desires completely fulfilled. O Narada, thus I have spoken to you of the secret rules of Purashcharanam. Never disclose this to any other body, for it is recognized equivalent to the Vedas. Here ends the 23rd chapter of the 11th book on the Tapta, Krichchara, Vrata and others in the Mahapuranam Srimad Devi Bhagavatam of 18,000 verses by Maharishi Ved Vyasa. Hari Om. Hari Om Tat Sat.